Here you go, guys. Here's something to be wary of. Um, things are very cheap in Thailand. Some are cheaper than others. Some are unbelievably cheap. What you do have to be careful of is that some of the stuff can be so cheap. Obviously, they're catering for a society where there are a lot of people living below the bread line. They're poor, so they would like to have things that other people have, but they can't necessarily afford the same sort of level of luxury. So there is a market out there which is creating product. Um, some you might call luxury items, some are just general items that you would categorize that way. But here's something with electrics in Thailand, domestic electrics. There are standards, there are regulations. The degree to which they're enforced is not always as good as it could be. Now, even with there's a lot of electrical goods that come in that might be they're reasonable quality, but sometimes there's also the stuff that is a direct shortcut to cheapness to be able to provide a product at a budget that the not so rich people can afford. When you look at a lot of those, obviously some of them have not been tested or accepted for sale in the country, but they're here. Others have been, and some of the manufacturers might be stating that they're a little bit more than they really are. Now, in Thailand, there's a lot of product which you'll see that uses a common two-pin type plug. Obviously, there's a lot of product in most countries which is three-pin, which includes an earth. This doesn't. It just got live and neutral. That's common. That's kind of accepted once you live here for a while. Now, obviously, a lot of appliances have got three-pin plugs when they come. It's not uncommon for people to snap off the third pin, which is already earth in a European or Western country, or you'll buy power boards that are set up for both. So you can have the two-pin go in here, but you have the third leg in case the plug still has the third pin. So you would buy this board with the assumption that it is a earth board. It has the three pins on the sockets, and previously there was a plug on here, but the plug had an internal short and actually melted the side of the casing, so I cut it off so power board couldn't be used. Now I got it open, and obviously there was a three-pin plug on there, and we've got three wires. The neutral is blue, brown is the live, and then the third one, which would normally be green in most countries, which would be the earth. Guess what? It's a piece of rubber tube. There is no copper wire inside it. So skimping, even to the point that they would put in a third, what appeared to be a wire, but wasn't. It's just a bit of tubing without the copper core on. Is saving that amount of copper over the 10-meter cable apparently enables them to sell it even cheaper. The actual sheathing one here is so soft, you just tear it so easily. So there is degrees of cheapness you can live with, and some that obviously this manufacturer has gone out of their way to convince people that this was an earth board, that it had the three wires inside it. You can buy boards with the three pin there, and then they've only got a two pin plug on, or they may have a three pin, but when you open them, you find there's only the two wires, the live and the neutral. In this instance, this is a blatant attempt to deceive. Otherwise, why would they waste that money? They're trying to get that through the standards, and just by its apparent physical appearance, if you put a tester on there, it will quickly prove that there was no earth in the socket. Yeah, just plugging it into one of the legs of the board. But yeah, be careful of those. Sometimes you're buying things that you may even on the package be advertised as being earthed and may even appear to be earthed, but this most definitely isn't. That there's no wire inside that. That's just a piece of rubber or plastic tubing. So be careful of that. You'll be surprised at the extent people can go to, not just this country, in many places, to get you back by supplying a slightly cheaper product, but it doesn't really comply to what you really want. You're being deceived. Okay, guys. I hope you enjoy. Bye.